Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatsMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, it's Friday. Friday's the day of the week we turn to the BonBon buddies over on Patreon and say, hey guys, vote us in a map. And they've gone with this one. Now, it's a creator request, but it's not the creator. It's the same creator that uses the same PC, but because Steam won't let us share and separate accounts, it's a different creator on the same... It's also...
It's my first map.
That's right. And it is a little bit newbie. Some of the standards are just lacking a little bit of polish, so be kind to the comments, of course. But I think we can all enjoy the ride and hopefully pick up on the one or two things that we can all do to improve our own maps and become better creators ourselves. But first of all, give that notification bell a slap because you want to keep on top of this, don't you? I know I do. I'm going to subscribe to my own channel. Today's map is Chippewa Lakes by PantherPoetic by Arjo7132. So Arjo7132 is the account owner and PantherPoetic is the creator. I'm with it. I understand. There's your start square and I really like the start square. I think that works very nicely indeed. The terrain heights are fine. Don't really understand why we've got a deep darkness in the middle of the map there. I mean, I understand resource painting, which is very good indeed, so I'm very happy with that too. But I don't understand why we've got the real dark in the terrain heights. Fishing, if you have Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, it's a fairly good fishing map considering its lakes. Off to the workshop, what do we need? Well, it's a mass transit map. You will need mass transit for this one. And there's also a one-click collection, which we'll see in a moment, and a written description that gives you a bit of background story and tells you about this being based on a region of Minnesota, USA. Only loosely based upon it, so don't expect to be matching up the maps correctly. The one-click collection will include also network extensions too, which means we've got two options for two-lane highways and stuff. A selection of different trees, and we have some intersections which you don't strictly need to subscribe to, which is why I haven't, but it is good to see credit go to the original creators. So yeah, the roads laying standards are a little bit wibbly, and I'll talk more about those in a moment. First of all, let's have a look at our first intersection, which is a plot cloverleaf, not the vanilla one. We have got a lane mathematics, 3 lanes going into 2 and 1 makes 3. But the turning here is pretty sharp, and that's the case on all of the junctions. Now, I'm going to make this slightly better. I would spend a lot more time doing this than if I was doing this for myself. But if we just move that like that, that becomes a softer bend for the vehicles to come. And like this vehicle here is taking a right, yep, and the camper, yep, that's all a little bit better. So yes, it's fine, it's fine. But the roads are a little bit, you'll see a few jinky jankies, there's a few wibbly wobblies, and I think it's a case of the parallel road tool not being used for most of the roads. I mean, there are a few places where it seems very equidistant, like this looks pretty smooth to me. I think this is parallel road. And then you get to areas where you go, well, that is not parallel road. So there are sections that are, and there are sections that aren't. And I mean, it doesn't really matter, but the sections that aren't are quite clearly, I'm going to say, substandard compared to the other roads, compared to the other side of the highway, or what we have here. It's, yeah, it is not quite as polished. But yeah, this is quite nice, this highway here. Also, the mix of trees, I think, works really very nicely with the theme and LUTs that we've got today. This is actually a very pleasing looking map, so I'm going to give credit for the trees today. All credit for the trees. Also, notice, got none on the highways. This is always nice. There's also a little bit of a jinky janky. Sorry, that was a jinky on that one. Janky's the ones that go right. Another jinky going on here. Both highways there. Just a little bit of a jink to the left. Could these be popped in with just a little bit of snapping of the segment using Move It. Okay, next intersection here. Now this is an interesting one. we have the dirt track and the dirt track bridge going over it, and it's 3 lanes into 3 lanes, so it would appear, except for these dirt tracks are of course 2 lanes, 1 in each direction. So this is a little bit weird, with traffic coming onto the highway, potentially coming onto the highway with a sharp turning. We've got oh, actually it's very low rail bridge going on here. Let me just see. I think we've got just cutting the top off of these trucks. Let me slow this down a little bit, maybe. Yeah, yeah, that's just cutting the top off of the trucks. This DHL truck is, yeah, suffers badly as well. So yes, slightly too low with that bridge, but who cares? Who cares? Do you care? If you do, then you're in the BonBon Club. Well done. We've got some traffic chaos already, and we haven't even started building. So yeah, there's some merging issues going. I mean, it could be quite easily fixed with Traffic Manager, the merging issues. But that said, if you're playing the 9-tile game and buying 1 tile at a time, it might be a while before you can actually get that fixed. There's something to consider. If you're playing the modded game, then you probably don't care at all, and good for you. The highway, a little bit of a janky going on there, not a huge one. A little janky going on there too. The rail over road here is okay. It's not the highest standard, but it's still better than a lot of rail over roads that we've seen. So there we are. We have a swirly about that is flowing very nicely indeed. So well done there. And then if we carry straight on, we got 4 into 4. That was a big old merge there. It worked. And then we have, I believe, yeah, this is our start square intersection, and this is a nice swirly, a figure 8 swirly about as well. That's a very nice one too. And we managed to avoid any streetlight clippings, any pillars in the road, all of that. The only major grumble, I mean, there's a couple of minor ones. I would like to see this ramp just smoothed out a little bit. I'm going to use Move It. Very quick jobs again. I would spend a lot more time doing it than that. I think I'd probably elevate the next section as well right there too. But anyway, that takes you down to the start square roundabout right there. And then I paused the game because I had to do something, and I have no clue why I paused the game here. So I'm just going to have to talk about something else for a few months. This is weird. What was I doing? I think I probably had an itch on my back or something. That's very strange. It's too late for me to edit it now. I have invested so much time, and they actually recorded this 24 hours ago. So I'm playing this from memory now. So where we're flying, especially the second half of the show, where we go off and look at separate individual things. I don't even remember where we went to. So that'll be an interesting bit of narration for you. Anyway, the highway here. You may notice we've got no traffic coming towards us here. A little bit of stress on the terrain. Oh, sorry, on the road texture there as well. Anyway, the roads then merge over this way. And notice we still have no ongoing traffic. The roads here also a little bit wobbly, and then we get flat. I think we got possibly a parallel road tool being used for the road here. Now, I believe this for 2 reasons. 1, it's a much higher standard than we saw a moment ago. And 2, the lack of oncoming traffic is probably caused by a fairly common problem that we see with the parallel road tool. And that fairly common problem, those of us that have used the parallel road tool, and it's fine, it's quite easy to see when you do it, so long as you take your time when you're working with these things, you do find the problems. But have a look here. The traffic comes to a dead end, and then it carries on. There you go. So yes, that just needs connecting. I'm not going to connect it because it doesn't matter to me, because I'm not playing the map. But you probably will want to if you're going to play this map. Get down there. That said, it's not a game breaker because actually, because of the way that the highway layout has been done, the traffic that needs to get to the start square that would normally have come down this way can take another route. So it's not a broken map, it's just an inconvenience on the map. But yeah, that's a much smoother highway going down that way than what we saw a moment ago. Then we get some slight wibblies, like here again, wibbly, and then parallel road, I think, to the edge of the map. So I mean, it might not be parallel road at all. If it's not, then it's very good standards of road laying, where it's good. It just doesn't match up with the other good standards. The rail is a little bit bumpy. It's a little bit. It's fine for the sort of map that we're playing on here. If you like this map, you won't mind this standard of rail laying. It's just a bit bumpy. It's not. There's no real horrendous uppy downies, and there's nothing going off the cliff edge or anything like that. So there's no roller coaster effects or anything like that. So if you like the map, you're probably going to be okay with the rail. If you're scratching your head going, why is this even on the workshop? Well, first of all, grow up. Secondly, oh, well, look at this. We do go up a bit of a hill there to go to a level section. That could have been much more smoothly done. I think I probably need to do a rail tutorial. I know there's a couple on the workshop already. That's the main reason why I haven't is there's a couple of really good, a slight encroaching tree there, and one just under here as well. There's a couple of very good rail tutorials for Cities Skylines on YouTube, and 3/4 of the reason why I haven't done a rail tutorial is just because I don't think I can do it as well as it's been done already. So there's no point in me even trying, really. So anyway, that's just a thought. Do check them out. I'm not supposed to link because I don't even remember who it was. The rail terminus over here is a little bit bumpy. Could have been leveled out, and it's right by the quarry. Perfect for your industries. Right, I think we're about done. We'll take that intermission. We will come back straight after this intermission.
Are you struggling with water physics in the game? Are you constantly drowning and flooding your soggy little sins? Then you need the Beginner's Guide to Water Physics by BonBonB. Click the information button now.
And so back to Chippewa Lakes by PantherPoetic by Joe7132. And it's very pleasing, the shipping routes. We have the shipping triangles and they do the job. I mean, we've seen more polished shipping triangles, but actually you won't notice. You won't notice in game. These are perfectly good enough for the game mechanics. So while they're not pretty to look at, they're good. Water flow in the start square, we have a couple of water spawn points, one there and one over here, and you're going to be good. Just stick your sewage down, off it goes, off the edge of the map. So, okay, let's see if I can remember what we were going to look at with the map on the fly through. The fertile areas, what's that first? I think it is, yes. They kind of look like cutouts. It's kind of like we have like a different colour underneath, and then we've taken the snip. Now, that's only from all the way up here. When we come down to ground level, I think it's very pleasing. It works really well with the colours of the trees. The hedge lines are very, very fat, though. So, yeah, there is that going for it. But you can call it stylised. I think we'll call it stylised. That's what it is. Now, the lakes, this is a natural lake area. Some rocky edges around the lakes. And well, this doesn't feel like the area at all. I've been down in Google Earth. And it's just a very flat area. So these, I mean, I can understand if it's summer and the water is evaporated, it would be low. But then we've got trees underneath the water line in the island in the middle there. Let me have a look at a lake. Is this lake going to be a good one? It's small enough for me to be able to work on. Right, I think I'm going to just smooth this one up a little bit using the editor. And I'm just going to use the softening tool around the outside there. A couple of laps, and I'll take out the bottom as well so we get a more natural. Now, that's going to take a moment to settle. Actually, probably going to need to raise the water level in there as well. Let's let the water settle first of all, and we'll come back in a moment to have another look. Now, I understand that there is an island in one of the lakes which has been dedicated to me, according to the description. I think this is it. I think, yeah, this is the one. I like the shape of the island. I like the idea of it. We've got a little place for me to live. We've got the jetty and a truck for me to drive around the island as well. Thing is, I wouldn't call that a bonbon island. It's too close to the other islands, so somebody could stand over here and wave while I'm doing some fishing, and I don't want to be able to see them. So I would like my bonbon island, how about in this big old bulk of water over here? Slap bang in the middle of here, far enough away that people can't really make out if I'm sat in my underwear doing my fishing. because nobody wants to see that now. What more have we got? We have the quarry. I've got quarry over. This quarry's good. It's okay, actually. I like the shape of it. It's not next level, but it's a good standard, good enough standard. Even like the way that the dirt tracks are ramped so that we can actually get up from level to level. I think there is some good standards going on there. It's an interesting shape, and I think and the fact that resources have been used in it as well means it can actually be used for industry, which is a good thing. And do you know what else is good? A really nice start square. And this map has got a really nice start square, including an asset today from somebody we've never seen before. It's Zeno with Genova Residential High 7. A building is part of a series they've been doing, tell by number 7. Part of a series. So if you like this style, head on over to their workshop. Link, of course, is in the description, and pick up a few of their assets because it's very nice indeed. And of course, hit the like button while you're subscribing to their assets as well, won't you? Factoids, because factoids. Attila the Hun is thought to have been a dwarf. I mean, how do they know? How do they know? How could they possibly know? I don't think the written records from Mongolia of that time were particularly in depth. I mean, maybe they do know. Maybe they do. Right, let's find... Oh, front door. Hang on. How do people get into this building? Hang on. There might be a flaw in my praise here for Zeno. Here is the front door. Genova Residential High 7. You can get in. It's by Zeno. It's nice. It's very nice indeed. As is voting on the map of the day. Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the day? Only you can decide. Of the day? Of the month. Click the I button now. Oh, hang on. We've not gone back to the lake. I've skipped ahead a little bit. You can still vote. Right, okay, here's that lake. It's looking much better now, a little bit smoother. Does need to be raised a little bit. Hang on, let me just raise that a little bit to there. I think this is going to look more pleasing. We'll speed the game up so that fills up a lot quicker. Now, admittedly, it's still not a great shape. It's much nicer than it was before we started. But I would do a little bit more work to the shoreline to make it more visually pleasing. But that is a lot better than what we had. Look, okay, I've spilled a little bit enough. I've drowned a couple of trees. Okay, I'll hold my hands up. It was a quick fix. Certainly a lot better than that, I'm afraid. Sorry. I'd love to give credit, but I think mine's slightly better. But I'm slightly more experienced. Okay, let's rate this thing up, shall we? What do I think? For aesthetics, I think it's okay. I like the theme and the colours. They all come together. I kind of like the layout and the design, and the lakes are from a distance very nice. It's when you get closer it loses a little bit. I think I still want to give it 3 stars. But I'm going to go slightly below average on 3. 3 stars, still the pass mark though. Detailing, yeah, it needs a little bit of work. And in a lot of places. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call it a high 2. It needs quite a lot of work, but not huge amounts in each area. Does that make sense? Possibly. Gameplay, pretty playable. Pretty playable. I'd like to see that road fixed. If that was fixed, it might be 4 stars, but I'm going to go for a very high 3. Chippewa Lakes by PantherPoetic by Arjo7132. Chippewa. Yes, keep chipping away. The more you play, the better you get, and the more skilled you get. And as long as you have fun doing it. I mean, visually, very lovely map. At a glance, that one. So what do you think? Should we enter the word of the day into the comments today to score some population points, as we are part of the 20 and out elite, or should we not bother? course you're going to bother. Go on, off you go, do it now. And I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.